Yeah, this is the start of the new concrete of the consolidated ditch 2018. It's new concrete. This is looking downstream right here. Right there is the old siphon coming across the arroyo. And that's the end of it right there, and that's where they started their new concrete. And this is just walking along the ditch, looking downstream. Here's the gauge on the consolidated. Solar powered. Construction guy's got a station of 6+97. There's the flume and the staff gauge. Here's a new road crossing on the new part of the consolidated, the new concrete. Headed toward the flume across the river. This is where the new concrete ties into an existing flume across the arroyo. Got an overflow. Pipe, or just an overflow channel, looks like. It's got an old CMP, and then there's the trash rack and the steel pipe going across the arroyo over to the old structure crossing the consolidated from the High Line is across the arroyo. Here's a side view looking down the arroyo, down towards the river. Here's the pipes holding the steel pipe up. It's getting a little rusty there. And this is looking back upstream, checking out the riprap. Here's the other side of the flume, looking upstream. Here's downstream, looking towards the highline structure. This is where water comes in from the High Line Canal off to the right there. This is the structure that feeds the old Chili Line and the old Llano. Goes down that way. And then there's the new pipes continued where Valente is trying to rerun a cross section under a big tree. Okay, this is the siphon. The siphon structure that is by NP 101 and 175. It's a crossing of the NP 101 of the consolidated. And this is going to be, I'm going to videotape the structures that cross the road and then go to where the Llano starts. Okay, this is what the consolidated looks like, crossing 101 and headed towards the beginning of the La Nueva. Here's a typical turnout, headed off towards the river. Okay, this is the staff gauge and flume. In the consolidated, headed toward the start of the La Nueva. The typical staff gauge on the center line on the wall, solar powered, the flume. Then it opens back up into a regular ditch. It goes into this structure that has another staff gauge, and it has a metal and concrete split in the ditch. One ditch goes to the right and goes into a road crossing pipe, and that's where the La Nueva starts, going into those trees. Then you have this box, has two irrigation gates that control it, and goes into this box with a trash rack and another big gate. And I know you can't see too good, but it goes underground here. It's all underground. It goes down to another bifurcation structure. That is, one part of it is all underground still, stays underground, all the way over to the community ditch. And this is the split in the structure, going looking this way, goes underground and keeps going all the way down to that arroyo that eventually the pipe ends up at the community ditch. This is what the structure looks like that starts the Llano. Comes in through this box, goes underground, comes out. This little pipe, which you can't really see, and then takes off into the trees. And that's how the Llano starts. This is how the chili line starts. Comes underground to this circular structure and goes on to those two. That one there goes down the ditch. This is the current chili line ditch, not the old one. This is the current one that they're using to get their water from the consolidated. Comes up here. We've got a check and a turnout there, and this turnout goes to an underground system, goes down, feeds fields down by those trees. That's basically how the chili line gets started. This is the structure that the underground water comes up the arroyo on the side of the road, we think. Comes up that road and comes into this structure. And then starts the this is the start of the community ditch. And it goes down through there. There's a little check structure flume with the solar powered gauge. And then 2 little ditches that just disappear like feeder ditches going that way.